Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Rodriguez Jackson, an ex-member of the Universal Church, might I say cult, run by one man, Bishop Edwin Macedo, worth over $1 billion. The church has 500 branches, and they get closed down by the hundreds, from state to state, city to city, country to country. AKA uckg, aka the Help Center. They practice Christianity, Catholicism, hoodoo, and voodoo, combination of them all. You're sucked in with the good. With the bad, you don't see, because they also practice brainwashing. Brainwashing is very powerful, and this is the reason why they target the youth. It's always youth. They go after the youth more because your brain is not fully developed until you're 25. So if they get you early, no matter what wrongdoing you see, you know what I'm saying, you always see them as right. No matter what, you can't see it. You know, you're already brainwashed. It's almost like, because this is what they do to a lot of the pastors. None of the pastors are allowed to have their own bank accounts. They're not allowed to have their own apartments or houses. When they marry them, they have to live in the church. And this is, you know, throughout all the branches. They're all forced to undergo vasectomies. That's part of the control and the witchcraft. And yeah, I didn't see this in the beginning. Let me tell you a little bit about my story. I'm just gonna go I'm not gonna go detail to detail because I'll say that for later. You know, if you end up wanting to hear, you hit the like button, share the video, and leave the comments down below, and then I'll tell the full story. But I'm just gonna, you know, skip in and out of a few things. Okay, what got me sucked in was I was just like, you know, stressed out on parole. I had 24 years parole, and I ended up going there, and they had a thing, a chain of prayer going on. Whatever you wanted from God, He would answer. So I didn't even believe I would get off parole. So that's just one of the things I was going to use. And I was on parole at the time, only maybe about 9 months, if that. And so after the chain of prayer, which we used to do in a circle, and it has something to do with witchcraft, you go in a circle, and the people stand in the middle. They have candles lit on the side, all this other stuff. I didn't know that. But anyway, the parole ended up being terminated. That just drew me in even more. You know, when my parole got terminated, I was like faithful. I'm outside evangelizing, trying to get everybody to go, whole family, everything, you know, people on the street. And it just, I'm like, oh, this is the power of God. You know, I'm committed here. So I brought my brother, one of my youngest brothers, there, and they was told to everybody, write your problems down on a piece of paper. And so he looked at me and he was like, should I write my problems down? Well, are they gonna read it? I was like, no, you ain't gotta put your name on it. Let's write down on a piece of paper, and they're gonna put it. It was like a grill. They did some kind of prayer on it or something. I said, they're gonna put it in there, anoint it, and they're gonna burn it. And so he just looked at me strange and said, they ain't not gonna read it. Don't write your name on it. Boom, wrote down the problems. Everybody writing down their problems, stuff like that. Writing down the problems, or writing down things like that. And so when they put it in there, and it was not just his, it was like everybody's. When they burned it, my brother went unconscious, and his whole body was shaking like he was getting electrocuted in an electric chair. And had to come cat spirit off of him, say he was manifesting with some kind of demon or something like that. And after he came out of that, he just looked at me and he whispered to me, said, I ain't never coming back in here. And I was like, damn, why did you want to come back? You know, power of God. He said, we'll talk afterwards. So to make that story short, after we got out of there, I asked him, I said, what made you manifest like that? What do you think it was? You know, he told me he did something bad. I'm not going to say it yet. I'll go into the detail on the next video when I do the full video. But yeah, that was the reason. And he said just he was scared and he wasn't coming back no more. So start being other weird stuff going on there, but I'm just, you know, happy with the blessings that I'm just like turning the blind eye to everything. It's like they tell us to they gave us all roses. Tell them take the roses home, keep them out in our homes for 7 days, bring them back, and they'll burn them. Witchcraft, you know, you burn the stuff. So we did that. They had us take a handkerchief home, stick it under our pillow, sleep on it for 7 days, bring it back, and they burn it. They had the campaign in Israel, which I'm witness of being a part of it, but I never like fully ever committed to it, because you're supposed to, you know, pray for a big blessing or healing or a blessing for someone else or somebody got out of prison or whatever, and you're supposed to give them your paycheck or your savings or whole bank account, stuff like that. So I never gave that, but I participated without giving that, so I didn't fully participate. And people were doing it, trying to get healings, and they would show videos of people being healed. People got, you know, were blind, now they could see. People couldn't walk, now they could walk. People were in prison, now they got out. People were poor, now they rich. All from doing this campaign in Israel, giving all their money, selling their cars, all the stuff like that. So I'm a witness to that. That goes on every June and December, back to June, 666. That's when they do it. And they call it different campaigns at times, but it's always in the same months. June, December, June, December. And they had this other thing they did where you take a ribbon, put it around your arm, you wear it for 7 days, bring it back, and they do something with it. They put it in something, and can't remember what they do with that, but they had that going on too. You're supposed to save souls. So this is what the evangelizing is supposed to be for. But when you look at it, it's money it's money in the numbers, you know, bringing people. The more people you bring, let's say if you brought 4 people to get saved, you know they're gonna get some money out of at least one of them. So I started seeing the money thing, you know, trying to get people to be in the campaign in Israel, stuff like that. But then I was seeing like the blessings, you know, the devil can bless you too. So a lot of people don't know that. I started seeing the blessings more, and so I continued to stick with it. Then they had this, I started to see people manifest with demonic spirits. And I'm like, wow, they got the power of God. I'm not knowing what it is. You know, when you Google and study what hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, Catholicism is, when they were doing the, it's called a strong prayer, which I don't see much bad in that unless they're putting spirits on. But taking spirits off, I don't see anything wrong with it. Some people may see something wrong with it, but this with it, you know, it's like a exorcism. So, you know, you stand, once again, it's the circle, the people stand in the middle, they cast the spirits off. I've seen people manifest just opening the Bible up. I seen this one lady, she was so small, maybe very petite. She's just like throwing the assistants around, you know, and she's manifesting with dark spirits. And, you know, I just seen this for maybe, I think 8 or 9 months before I went to, they had this thing called the Chosen, which was held in New York at the other church. They had a branch, DC, Maryland, Virginia, New York, you know, that I can get to, you know, but they had them all over. So I went there, and they had food, people were doing, you know, they had a play, people singing. It was very nice. And then at the end, people went up and you had to get saved or freed. So I seen kids as young as 10 years old manifesting with demonic spirits. boy, my heart was racing. It was like a spook house in there. And it was like over 50 assistants, 50 pastors, 50 bishops. And I think it was about close to 1,000 of us. I'm going to say about around 700, I think. And we were there. And throughout the time I had been in the church, I never manifested with anybody. I've never been like a bad person. You know, I've been in prison before, made a mistake. I was young, immature, 20 years old when I went, came back out, you know, rehabilitated. So I never had intention of doing anything bad, but just, you know, going to the church, I let some things go ahead. Grudge against my father, you know, which a lot of fathers all over haven't been in their children's life or really in their life for many years. And that place helped me let that grudge go. But like I said, there still was many bad things there. So I let that grudge go. And, you know, it was just the campaign of Israel thing. Again, let me go back to that. They had a lot of us, you had to take a piece of your hair, put it in a plastic bag, write what you want from God, write your problems on there, your sicknesses if you want to be healed from something. And they took it and once again burned it. I didn't know that burning was witchcraft. I did not know this. So anyway, fast forward back to the Night of the Chosen in New York. Everybody's manifesting all these spirits. I wonder why I haven't manifested with anything yet. If I don't have the Holy Spirit, they say that you have a bad spirit on you. So I'm looking for this to come off. So I go there, and I'm like, the guy was like, his name was Pastor Damon Jackson. I think his name was Damon Jackson, something like that. And he's like, you don't have to say your problem. Anybody that feels something's holding them back and it's not from God, or you have to just walk up here and think about it and it will come off you. So you know what, I couldn't think of anything bad that I was doing. I was just working, taking care of my children, going to school, going to church. I was actually in that church about 4 days a week. People thought I worked there. And I wasn't doing anything bad as far as dating a lot of women. So if you call that bad, I guess that was what I was doing bad. So I thought about fornication. When I went up there, I thought about fornication. A demonic spirit took over my body, started throwing me all around, down to the floor. My body felt like somebody poured hot lava on the inside of it. I was on fire on the inside. And all I can hear is Pastor saying, stand up, it'll throw me back down. Fight it, boom, it'll throw me back down. And I can feel like these different pastors around me. And boy, my heart was racing. I mean, it was like Jason was chasing me. That's how scared I was, and I couldn't control my body. All I can do is stand back up. That's the only part of my body I can control. I can control my eyes. They was just like blinking. I can hear. My hearing was like a deer. Like I can hear stuff outside. It became supernatural at the time where this is going on. And then, you know, down to the end of it, concerning me, at the end, when they supposed to cast the spirit off of me, it felt like my body was burnt, but it wasn't. I got up, it wasn't hurt. And, you know, right after that was a woman on stage. They were casting the spirit off her, and they asked the spirit how to get in, what did it want to do to her. The spirit said it wanted to give her AIDS. I mean, I was like, well, I'm just saying, oh, this is the power of God, this power of God. Well, like I said, it's a combination of all these things. Hoodoo, voodoo, witchcraft, capitalism, Christianity. It's a combination of everything. And when it all boils down to it, it's money too. It's always like, boom, make a donation, this, that. You know, surrender all. And bring more people. So I'm still feeling like, oh, they got this power. You know what I'm saying? This is from God. So I'm just bringing more people. I'm evangelizing. I'm bringing people that I know that's sick. I brought this one fella that I know that's suffering from AIDS. And I'm just saying to myself, let me see how much power they have. And when I brought him in there, you know, they was doing the strong prayer. And the pastor immediately just walked up to him and said, this man is sick. I'm like, oh my goodness, they got power. I didn't tell anybody about this man's sickness, but he just walked straight to him and was trying to cast the spirit off. And I brought another guy that had the same sickness, and his wife manifested with a demonic spirit. Don't know if it came from her or whatever, but I started to see all these people. Even one of my other brothers. I'm not gonna give a story yet until I talk to him. You know, I ain't trying to get sued. But yeah, I brought my other brother in, and yeah, he manifested with spirits. I started to just be like, oh my goodness, this is the power of God. It's the power of God. And later, I started to see more strange stuff. You know, it's the youth group. They started to, me, I'm the kind of person that always takes his children out, very outgoing and active person. This is me. So I'm always, taking the kids out, stuff like that. It started to be like they started to challenge me as far as taking the kids somewhere or leaving them there in the youth group. Whereas my kids went to the youth group twice a week. It was like Tuesday and I think on Sunday. But if it was early Sunday, it was fine because we went in the evening to places sometimes, different places on Sundays. And we sure wouldn't go on to church on Saturday, even though sometimes we went to church on Saturday. We wouldn't stay there all day, go there for a few hours and then off to, doing something with the family. So, yeah, went from that to, it like show your faith. One day I think me and my daughter had tickets to the Nutcracker. She had to be like 10 years old at the time. And I paid $100 a piece for those tickets. And it was like, show your faith and sacrifice. And I'm like, I said, who's gonna pay my money back? I'm not sacrificing staying here, and I'm gonna sacrifice my money to stay here when she's been to the youth group Tuesday. She's not gonna, she's just gonna miss today. I'll take us out for this time. And I almost got in an argument with the lady, one of the ladies there behind that. And then, like I say, a lot of them are so detached because the ones that did have kids, their kids were like in Africa or Jamaica or somewhere, or they didn't have children, so they didn't know what it was like to bond with the family, and you have things set to do with your kids, and you can't just, do stuff like that. So it was things like that, and I got a long story to tell. And one of the last things I want to say before I get out of here is it was a situation where I got down to, after being there for about 8 years, I think, 8 years, 9 months, I was ready to leave, fed up, started saying too many bad things. And when we left, it was me and my girlfriend at the time, we started experiencing a lot of bad spiritual stuff. And they want that to happen to you so you can come back. They always feel like they have people brainwashed to where as though they have to feel that that's the only place they can find God. Whereas though there are millions of churches. Just go to another one. But they try to brainwash people into thinking that. So we left. Make a long story short, it was 3 a.m. This is when like the spiritual world operates from 3 to 5 a.m. if you Google it. She manifested with a demonic spirit, and I had to fight that 40 minutes. My brother and his girlfriend came to help out spiritually, and boy, that was the day that I was wondering, was it gonna be my last day on earth? But anyway, hit the like button, share the video, subscribe to the channel, leave the comments down below where you'll be interested in hearing the full story of the Universal Church exposing the cult. Thank you. I'm out.